of myself, and it's going to be great and awkward because my best friend lives in Vancouver, so we've been doing this like long distance friendship thing. So she's just like, yeah, friendship. Round of applause for friendship while I get ready. Oh god. Oh, okay. Yeah, friendship. She's gonna love that. That's for you, Taylor. All right, here's my story. It's called I Ain't No Princess. I wouldn't call myself a natural leader. I don't really ever want to be in charge of anything. But sometimes it seems like the logical course of action, then yeah, I'm like, all right, I'll go for it. So the only time I ever ran for an officer's position in any sort of club in high school was when I ran for the president of the theater tech crew. And it was, of course, based purely on the logical perspective that I had been doing it all 3 years, that I'd been in school at that point, worked on all the shows, been one of the most consistent members of the crew. I could eat a whole bag of fries from Mike and Miguel's during lunch on Saturday build days, which is a feat because they gave you the brown paper bag that you take your lunch in. They would fill that half full of fries, and they were greasy as shit, like they double bagged it. So that took 3 years of doing to just be able to get there. And I was a girl, because there had also been this long tradition of females in the head of the position of the tech crew, which had garnered the affectionate title of princess. Thank you. And very much like royalty, as far as anyone could tell, you didn't actually do anything special, but get to flaunt the title. So it was the end of the school year, I was a junior, all the officers were graduating, and it was time for elections. And I, very much like our own beacon of female presidential leadership, Hillary Clinton, seemed to be running uncontested. Don't take that as like an endorsement or anything, but it's a metaphor, not an endorsement. And then our surprise candidate, the Donald Trump, if you will, threw in her bid for president. And now, since I don't speak very highly of this particular individual, we'll save her some trouble and refer to her as B. So B decides she's gonna run for princess as well, and now B, yes, has been involved in tech crew to a certain extent, but recently hasn't been seen much due to her being much more involved in gymnastics and choir than with the black side of theater. So why she's running, I don't know. But anyway, at least this is like a semi-formal affair, so all the crew kids are gathered in the auditorium, and our teacher tells us to give a speech. So mine's this quick little thing, something like, "Sup, all you people already know me, because I'm here all the time." Read subtext as, like, unlike my opponent over there. So, I'm really good for the job because I've been doing this 3 years now, probably going to college for it, I'm kind of serious about it. I probably had some better points in there at the time, but I honestly don't remember now. What I do remember, however, is that when it's time for B to give her speech, she gives it the grammatical structuring of an I Can Has Cheeseburger cat. Like, I wants to be president. I can run for the tech crew because I is awesome. And if I remember correctly, I'm standing next to her on the front of the stage trying to maintain my composure because I don't know if I want to face palm or like throw up a little or push her off the stage or make a face at everyone else that's like, if you vote for her, you're all dead to me. So needless to say, I won. She also ran for vice president and lost, and whatever the hell the third position was called, and lost. And then a week later, we were in rehearsals for the variety show, and she got in her jab, and she snuck up behind me while I was like fiddling around on the soundboard and caught me unawares and was all like, "Well, congratulations on being the new president, I guess. It's all a popularity contest anyway." So, and I'm not good with confrontation, or that quick with retorts, but I was also resting pretty well on my laurels and like confident in the wonderful citizens of the tech crew that they had made the best choice for themselves in electing me president. That yes, even though the snide remarks were swirling around in my head for like a solid week after this encounter had happened, all I did in that moment was like smirk down at the soundboard and continue about my business and be all like, right. Because, like, honestly, popularity contest, like, there was no contest. Like, sure, if it was a contest based solely on likability, I would have won anyway, because on the tech crew, at least, no one really liked her. Like, she would be backstage, stage managing a show, and try to tell the person up at the soundboard how they should be mixing the microphones. And if you know anything about sound, that's not, like, they put the soundboard up there for a reason, because you can hear everything. Like, she's backstage behind a pile of curtains and, like, telling people to do stuff. Anyway, there were any number of other obnoxious examples of her trying to exercise some misguided attempted authority. So, and if we were going to argue that it was a contest based on merit, like, hello, I still would have won. As you can probably glean by now, her record was spotty at best, so I let it go with the feeling of smug superiority that comes to those whose confidence has not been in the least bit shaken. Because, see, she couldn't even succeed at making me feel bad. But I wasn't done with her yet. Let's fast forward a few years to when I was a junior in college at a theater conservatory. I know, quite a big deal if I may say so myself. I'm camped out in the computer lab working on some drafting for a show, and the senior scenic design student, Rachel, leans over to me and she says, "Hey, it looks like you know B." And I'm like, "Yeah, what?" Turns out Rachel's been looking for paint help on an outside show she's doing, and B happened to be one of the applicants. And Rachel found out that we knew each other through the appropriate use of Facebook stalking, like you do when you're hiring people. And then in the tiny world of theater, you're just like, oh my god, everybody knows everybody, let's dish. So she's like, what can you tell me about her? And needless to say, I was not kind. Was it because I harbored resentment still at B's popularity contest dig? Like, maybe a little bit. Was it because I truly had no confidence that she'd changed in 3 years? That's definitely a more likely scenario. But I think what it really was the little part of me that still took pride in being president. In high school, I had been a big fan of that first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, the one that ends with the quote about how with great power comes great responsibility. So maybe it was the part of me that felt that it was still my official duty to protect the world from the scourge that is people who are just fucking obnoxious to work with. Thank you.